Hey YouTube family, it's Daughter of the Most High. I wanted to come on this evening and just share a few thoughts. I keep seeing like news and YouTube videos about that ad campaign that's out by the company that starts with the letter B. And I saw a few more this evening and the reactions to this. And I have to tell you that I'm surprised by what's going on. So there's various people that are outraged by this ad. And the fact is that we are well aware of what our celebrity elites, our government elites, the wealthy people have been participating in. What, for how long? Did we forget about the island? Did we forget about the flight logs with government leaders and celebrities listed on the flight logs? Did we forget that our nation goes in this direction? Did we forget that our nation has how many abducted children every year? Where are the children? There's children kept in cages and offices and underground cities and all kinds of things for these sick people to go and make their choice and have their activities. And we know these things go on. It's horrible. Have you heard about MK Ultra? Some parents actually force their children to participate in this program for benefits, of course, money, greed, some sort of, political or, whatever benefit. Other children are forced into it, not by their parents, but otherwise abducted and forced into it. And then they're so abused, tortured and abused, to the point where their brain splits off into various compartments, and then they're programmed. Look up MK Ultra if you're not familiar with it. It's a wretched, evil, putrid, devil-inspired program to use people for personal benefit. And you know who participates in this? The wealthy elite, the government officials and celebrities. They're the ones. Some of the celebrities that you see on the screen may be an MK Ultra victim that has been programmed to, put on their shows or act in certain ways. Research this information. It's shocking. So we have all kinds of evil in our society, and it's in the majority of it. Now, of course, there's some in the, middle class and lower classes, but the wealthy elites are the ones that actually participate in this stuff because they're the ones above the law. They're the ones that, many times, are serving Satan through the Illuminati, through the Freemasons, and that's exactly where Satan goes. The filth and to the children and the babies are so precious. We are all precious to God, but especially the innocent children and babies, and that's why the enemy, fuels this in his followers, that desire to have sex with kids. Really. So that's something that I can hardly wrap my brain around. Then there's the adrenochrome. What is adrenochrome? Adrenochrome is the drug that is extracted from the pituitary gland of tortured children. It's sold on the black market, and it's a drug of the elites. It's supposed to be quite the high and also creates that youthful appearance. So the ad campaign comes out with children in S&M garb and various papers and things on the table about the issue of sex with kids and wanting to lower the age of consent, because having sex with kids appeals to this growing number of people. And there's all kinds of reaction to this ad campaign. Not that it's okay, it's not. But this is our world. I'm not surprised by it. I mean, are you kidding me? Have you looked at our music? Listened to the music, looked at the movies, looked at the videos, listened to how people talk? The filth. There is so much filth in our nation, in our music, in our TV shows, in our movies. And there's people surprised by an ad campaign. It's like, this is who we are, people. Are we pretending this is not the direction that our nation's moving toward rapidly? Because it is. And we can pretend that we don't know this stuff. But the fact is that our leaders and their celebrity buddies all participate in this filth. Did you know that certain athletes, probably not all, but certain athletes, that their people, their whoever, arrange for MK Ultra victims and child sex trafficking victims? They bring them to the stadium, they bring them to the concert hall, they bring them to the office, they bring them to the island, they bring them to, so that these athletes, celebrities, artists, bands, whoever, just wealthy businessmen, can participate and indulge their sick appetites after the meeting, after the concert, after the game. Do you know that? Do you know that this stuff goes on? And these poor people get lined up to get used again, and they're half out of their mind from being abused and used and abused and used and abused. And this is our people that we, our celebrities, our elites, our upper crust, upper caste. It's disgusting. But we're pretending to be surprised by this ad campaign, like this isn't the direction our nation has been going in for a long time. So what does this mean? Are we pretending we aren't what we are? And so we're so appalled, we're so appalled by this. People, like they didn't know Kim Kardashian acting like she doesn't know what goes on in Hollywood. Please. And they were waiting for her to speak out, then she finally does, about how appalled she is. It's like, Kim, we know you know. We know you know. I don't know how much you participate in it, but we know you know. Because you're all a part of it. This just reminds me of how sick and evil our nation is. And how God's just going to judge us. Yeah, are we going to be invaded on December 7th? I don't know. I don't know if that word was accurate or not. But what I do know is that God is going to judge our nation, because there's the people participating in this stuff. There's people that turn a blind eye to it. As long as they can live their comfortable life, they don't care what anybody else does. I don't want to know. I tried to tell people about adulterous remarriages, and they just, it's almost like they flip a switch. They will not listen to that teaching because it messes with their personal life. if this wasn't something as big as it is, you wouldn't shut down like the way you do when it's brought up. And you wouldn't unfriend, and you wouldn't be so mad. The fact is somewhere deep down you know that it's a big and important subject. And that's adultery. Adultery's like minor compared to, not that it isn't a sin, and it's a sin that takes you to hell, but I'm saying when you think of what some of these people have done to certain children, boys and girls, teenagers, maybe grown men and women, I don't know. Like I shared before on my video, I can only handle so much of that content without getting absolutely sick, like just weighed down in my spirit. I have to get away from it sometimes. I can't just read and listen and keep learning. I have to set it down for a long time, because for me, how these people participate in is absolutely beyond me. They've got to be possessed, because I'm a regular person and I can hardly even hear about it, and I'm just sick. So back to the point, why are we acting like this ad campaign isn't who we are, and these poor innocent children, and yet we know this garbage has been going on for how long, and we know who participates. We saw the flight logs. We've seen the language that they use regarding their little parties, the government leaders and their parties, the hot dogs, the pizza, and all the other disgusting terms they use, to describe what they want when they get there, when the kids arrive, when the meeting's over. This is our people that lead our nation. I mean, give me a break. And then we act like, and I understand it's disgusting to see the kids in the S&M garb, but if we could, like, if there was a way to just expose everything that goes on behind the scenes and just make it completely visible, what we saw in the ad is like nothing compared to what really goes on, and they all know it. They all know it. And we pretend that that's not us. That's not us. We're not a nation of filth. We're not a Satan-serving nation. In a lot of ways, we are. Not all of us. But when your leaders, the things that you watch and the things that you listen to and the movies you watch and the music you listen to, and all the Netflix shows and all the stuff, all comes out of that. All comes out of the same place. And the music and the videos and everything, the concerts, and the filth is so evident. Music and movies have always had that dirty side to it because that's what appeals to people. But now it's so prevalent. It's shocking. So I would like to hear your thoughts regarding this ad campaign and why people are acting like this is not who we are, because it's who we are as a nation. Not me, not you, but we're surrounded by it. What are your thoughts? Why the big reaction like, oh no. And do we really not know what our nation is made up of and how many of these things go on? I'd really like to hear your thoughts. This whole thing is just so upsetting to me. It's just another layer in these end times of things that are just so disturbing and ridiculous. Yeah, isn't it hard to just stay even in this? Yeah. I'm glad our time is short. So I'd love to see but read your comments. Thanks, fam.